You're an interesting man. Scott Lang.
I don't know who you are, but you've made a big mistake, okay? I'm an Avenger. I've called the other Avengers.
You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?
What?
First and foremost, I gotta know, what's it like being punched in the face by America's sweetheart, Paul Rudd?
It's like 100 kisses from butterflies, all at once.
All at once. I believe it. Well, listen, I really legitimately, speaking seriously, I loved you as Kang the Conqueror in this. I love you in this role, and you just seem to be having so much fun with it. And I'm so excited to see you in other versions of Kang. Tell me about the conversations happening here. This has to be an actor's dream to be so many versions of one character. How are you approaching Kang?
Listen, it's probably an actor's dream or an actor's nightmare. You know what I mean? Like the level of difficulty is high, and the character is quite high profile. So, there's no hiding. That just happens to gas up my engine, which I quite like. I like the high stakes. I like Kang has a chip on his shoulder. I can get with that. I understand what that is. And so for me, it is indeed a dream, not just the role, but where the role is being put up, where we're doing it. This happens in cinemas. This happens, with the largest franchise in the history of franchises, enterprises rather, with the MCU. And there's no limit. The only limit on the character is my instrument. And so every time I get after it, I get to challenge myself to grow and get better. And so that is great. That is great.
Absolutely. And you mentioned all these factors. It is one of the biggest enterprises in the world. And this is a very well-known character that fans, for better or worse, they're always going to have expectations for. Does that kind of do you internalize that pressure, or how do you kind of get out of your head when playing it so that you're not like, oh my God, I have to do this right. And then you can just do it the way that you want to do it. Obviously you want to do it right, but how do you kind of deal with expectations like that?
Well, it's the difference between getting it right and getting it truthful, I very much respect the MCU fans and the comic book fans. I respect Stan Lee and his vision. I thank him. I'm honored to be a part of it. I also honor Kevin Feige and everything they've done, the art that they've made, And so it's about support. It's about changing that lens and not seeing it as pressure, but support. Haters are going to come. If you're doing anything right, you will have opposition, and that's okay. But I'm not in the interwebs or on the streets where I can feel that opposition, So my job is to create with an open heart as boldly and as bravely as I can. And I'm keeping the comic books in mind. I'm also keeping the audiences in mind, as I create it. And there is a good deal of it that is from them and for them. There's a great deal that's for and from me, and for and from the MCU team and family, and hopefully all of that hits a tone of universality, and that gives us the template for Kang and how I move forward in it.
Absolutely. Well, so far, I love how you're moving through it. I'm excited to see what you do with it. That is my time. But Jonathan, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. I really appreciate you, and congrats on this project.
Thank you very much.